What's up guys, today I'm talking about and recommending a new martial arts manga that recently started serialization in Shonen Jump as a weekly series, with 2 chapters released so far for today's recording, and the title being Neru, The Way of the Martial Artist. You can read it for free on the Shonen Jump app/website, or really anywhere on Google if you know how to, search in that. But now, let's begin. If you're new to my channel, I kinda talk about fighting manga as the main thing I cover, so subscribe if you're into that. But Neru so far is something I believe has a lot of potential, with an author that hasn't done any previous work that I could find, but the first 2 chapters seem to be promising. And here is a quick summary. Meet Neru. His martial artist grandfather left behind a book which serves as his only guide for his solidary training. Neru's about to finish middle school and is totally unsure about his future, but everything changes when he meets the mysterious martial artist. She leads Neru to a high school where the toughest fighters have assembled. This martial arts high school action series now begins. Now I'll get into some spoilers or some stuff that was covered in chapter 1 and 2, alongside some other thoughts about the series so far. It begins by showing us Neru's relationship with his grandfather, which made him think with age comes skill, as his grandfather would always say, "I'll be stronger tomorrow than I am today." But this resulted in him shortly realizing that his grandfather was special, as he was a martial artist. And then as the story continues, this girl finds his home to see all these training scriptures and tools. Also, the art does seem kinda old school at times, but it's not bad by any means. And it turns out this girl was also a martial artist and begins to fight/spar with Neru. We see the motion of the fights, which seem to be pretty solid and fast paced, as I liked. I don't like, too long and drawn out fights. They're straight into action with very little talking when the fight is actually occurring, which is another, key thing I enjoy. Regardless, he was defeated by this mysterious martial artist, but this match did indeed quench his boredom, and now this is where the real story begins, with the end of chapter 1 showing the girl taking him to a martial arts high school for people like him, martial artists. Now on to chapter 2. I think his various lessons from his grandfather that we got to see briefly in chapter 1 will be key in, his improvement and overall presence in this high school, and will be, drawn upon throughout the story. But yeah, let's get into chapter 2. We will learn that there are 18 general martial arts in Japan, and that this school offers all of them, with it ranging from way of the sword, spear, archery, etc. So I'm guessing we'll get a large variety of skills and masters to see throughout, and maybe the main character potentially learning all 18 throughout the story, which could be pretty interesting. Or maybe he just focuses on a few, or maybe even one to, overcome others who have trained and learned multiple or other masters of specific fields. But yeah, there's, a large variety of ways the story could go from here regarding what martial arts will be used and shown. And considering that there's 18 of them, I don't think it'll just focus on weapons. It will actually have, hand-to-hand combat martial arts as well, but we haven't really got that shown so far in the first 2 chapters. And it does seem to have some dark undertones at times, which I hope becomes more prevalent as the story continues, and maybe possibly delves into these dark undertones more than this more lighthearted nature. That's my personal hope. But so far, I do get the sense of it being similar to Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple. If you've seen or read that martial arts series, you'll definitely enjoy this based on my assumption. But personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of Kenichi due to its heavy focus on comedy, but Neru here doesn't have too much comedy from these first 2 chapters, so I'm guessing it's more focused on the martial arts and fighting aspect, which is more appealing for me personally. But something I love is when characters get serious, and how the story doesn't waste time in getting that character to show what they're truly capable of, like our protagonist Neru in chapter 2. And of course, the art most likely will improve as the story continues, but so far, especially in this quick exchange here, it was pretty solid and sharp, which is ideal and what I like to see. Also, as I mentioned before, this is a weekly series, so constant updates and more chapters coming out will be a main appealing aspect for me personally, as I don't really read too many weekly series at this point. The main one I really read is Kangen, with other series I cover on this channel and read normally come out fortnightly or monthly. So having another series that comes out weekly will be, you know, very cool to, you know, enjoy. And of course it's easy to access on the Shonen Jump or Manga Plus app or just various other websites for that, and hopefully it gets, you know, more popular. That's the main reason I'm making this video, because if you don't know, many weekly Shonen Jump series have a few chapters, or maybe they last like 20 or so chapters, and then due to their popularity not, you know, being all that, they end up getting dropped from the Shonen Jump magazine and pretty much disappear. So hopefully Neru gets enough traction where it stays around and we can see where this story, you know, unfolds. And yep, cannot wait for that. I believe the next chapter comes out on the 19th, because the second chapter came out on the 12th, I believe. So yeah, cannot wait for that chapter. I probably won't be doing chapter reviews on the series. I may make an update video in the future if some crazy shit happens and if people want it. But yeah, I hope you check out this new martial arts series. If you have already, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think it has potential? Do you think it's trash so far? I'd love to hear what you have to say. Hopefully you check it out. If you want to talk more about this series or any other series I talk about on the channel, make sure to join the Discord. And as always, shout out to the people who support the channel via the Patreon. But yep, that's it guys. Peace.